This is set 555, the hospital. This angle's kind of crap. I'm trying to figure this out. Alright, here is set 555, the hospital. It is a neat set. It comes with quite a number of things. There's a vehicle, there's a wheelchair person, way before, spoiler I guess. Actually that's unrelated. Spoilers, wait, I think my brain just stopped working. A wheelchair way earlier than the minifigure styled ones they'd make decades later. You've got a building, and you've got a little garage. You've got a lot of cool stuff in this set. It has 233 pieces, so I feel like it gets a lot accomplished, but a little space. Here's some more images of it. I love these little images. I like the inside. The little white dots on the base plate are a little kind of iconic. No, this is actually an alternate build. This isn't the actual set. But I do like how they say, like, oh, you can make it into more of a open hospital. The set that as it exists is kind of like a little bit hard to get into, but you can if you want to. You can make it into a house with the same pieces, which is cool. A little truck. I mean, that's kind of weak. You already have a truck, but the idea of having a little ice cream stand from the wheelchair is cool. Got a little girl playing with it. And you've got a little gas station, which is another good application of the same ideas in this set. Yeah, I love the alternate builds, of course. They're so cool. Some of these are a little bit weak, but they're more suggestions. On the side, we got this. I am not good at looking at the thing in real life and knowing where that is in the camera. So I'm so sorry if you're getting some bum views for a few seconds there. And now, as you can see from the rattling in there, I've also got the instructions. So, use this box for storage. It's a nice box. Interesting enough, we even have the original sticker sheet that was used. This thing is mad old. Fast roll. That almost looks handmade, which is funny, but of course it was probably manufactured. Here are the instructions. They actually unfold kind of like a map, so it'll make it a little hard to show off. Sorry if this is a really bad view. Here are the instructions. They're so large for such a medium-sized set. Actually, this is the ending of them. This is the start of it. Yeah. Again, these old instructions are a little bit hard to understand when it comes to things you can't see. Like, they're like, you just gotta assume some things. Which I think is cool that they have the confidence that kids could, like, use, like, you know, basic logic and be like, okay, if it's on this side, it'll be on the other side with the piece. But also, like, it makes so much sense why they don't do instructions like this anymore. On the back of the box, inside the box, there actually is a, seems to be, something? Patents? Sure. This was back when Lego had the patent on the Lego brick. No Mega Bloks existed, or Creo, or whatever its other stuff is. So that was their territory. But enough packaging. Now let's look at the set itself. This one's for the sick boys out there. This is the hospital. Now, you will see that this is pretty dirty, a little bit gross. Do you know that this has been in a basement for like 30 years? It has been brought out a few times, but I apologize for how gross it is. I could clean it up. Maybe I should have, but we're not living in that timeline, so we're just gonna enjoy it as it is. Now, the set actually comes with a number of minifigures. I'm knocking stuff down. Sorry. I'm like a little Neanderthal right now. So it comes with a number of minifigures. You've got the hospital people who are in white, and you've got the patients. One is this guy, blue and yellow. You have a female nurse with one of the first hair pieces. This was actually also retired later. I remember there was something like the pigtail snapped off and it was too rubbery, but it is a little bit iconic in its own way, you know, classic hairpiece. You've got this girl who's seen better days. She's in a wheelchair, interesting brick-built wheelchair, and the way they accomplish this is they accomplish the movement of him being able to push it with like completely by putting a brick in between his legs and his arms. I'd say in this set it's less so true, but I feel like in these early sets, these minifigures of sorts are less supposed to be like stand-ins for a person and more like decorations, as you would say, like a tree. In this set, of course, there's the idea like, oh, it's a hospital, you can interact, have things happen, and there is some cool stuff, like another physics-based thing where like you can just put them in there, take them to the ambulance, which is over here, and we'll look at that in a second. There's actually another minifigure. Oof, I actually stole from this set. Or there isn't. Okay, I'm wrong. Well, it's that guy. Oops. But yeah, these are, of course, iconic. The red hair is also cool. I love how it's just flat up red, like such an odd color. But like, it does fit with, there's no brown, but there is like red, and because Lego back then had more limited colors, which I think is really charming in its own way. Yeah. A cool thing is they have a bench here, but because the legs aren't opposable, what they expect you to do is put the body there and the legs there, which is funny. This situation where they like separate the legs also works for other things. I guess you can't fit in that windshield, but like there's some vehicles and other sets where you just put the body and head there without the legs, which is a little bit odd because like what do you do with the legs? But yeah, you've got the hospital. I'm kind of going in a weird order. I'm not really used to reviewing Lego or physical objects. Here, I guess I'll look at the vehicle and the building last, because that's kind of the centerpiece. Here's the hospital truck, or the ambulance, as it would be called if you know what a hospital truck is. It's got an interesting print here. Early stickers, these things are so old, they're so yellow now, but I'm sure it would have blended better back then. You've got these window pieces, where the idea is you open it up. These guys take this dude. One little detail is I like how there's a little bit more space here as if for his head for a pillow. Put him in there. You gotta chuck him in. Maybe the female nurse gets inside. And then they bring it to the hospital. Oh, she can't fit. You still can't fit. They go in there. I love how this fits in there. It's very satisfying. I like how there's like little tracks there. I feel like some people are going to find this video offensive because I'm being a little rough and ragamuffin when it comes to playing with this thing. But I guess I should get into the hospital itself. This is the worst review ever. I'm so sorry. The first thing of note is this flag. These old style Lego flags are pretty uncommon because they would break very easily. You can see 2 stickers are on there. They're applied very well considering they were probably done by like a 10-year-old. I'm sure they were by my dad back then. But they are applied well. You've got a little spot on the top with the cross. I like this because one of the other sets I have from this era, this rescue helicopter, it almost reminds me of like a landing pad, and this kind of fits on there. Kind of fits if you can angle it. The aesthetics of the hospital are cool. I like the windows. I like the black tops of it. It seems very comfy. I love the details where there's this redness around it. It makes it feel way more complete. Otherwise, this would feel like a lot of empty, unutilized space. But just a few bricks, and it feels like a whole expanse. And of course, like, I feel like that if you're saying this is mostly an exterior experience, most of the stuff would be filled by like minifigures, lots of open space. It makes a very good complete image with everything together. You can make this more aesthetically pleasing by closing the doors. Maybe she can go up, be up there, why not? Take this guy out. Yeah, it does make a good, I do like the stuff here. It's cool, it's cool. I'm looking at the back. You've got an alternate entrance. I like the implication of like the back door here. I like how that can kind of go in there, but not quite. I like the saying I like a lot. I'll find better. I'll get better at this eventually. I like the symmetry and how there's the setup there. It's nice. If you actually look inside the hospital, there's not a lot going on. In fact, there is nothing going on in there. If you look inside the hospital, there is nothing going on in there because this is more of an exterior thing than an interior thing. The back of the box did show an alternate build that was more based on the exterior, so if that's what you want to do, then I'd recommend you follow that one, or make something your own that's similar, which is why I love Lego, because it accommodates that kind of stuff with the pieces you get. This part is also hollow. I like how they divide this so you can just open it, because if they did this, if this part was sticking in there, then you would be a little bit difficult to take the roof off. It comes off very cleanly. I had to improvise with some pieces because some of them were broken or lost, which is why this is even a problem in the first place. But yeah, I like this set. Lego hospitals and Lego City are kind of a rarity when they do happen. They're a little bit expensive, so this is kind of the start of that, and it's interesting seeing like something like this in such an early form, because there are less later like hospitals. Like there's a lot less history to Lego hospitals. This is a bit of a rarity, so it's cool. I like it, and it's a classic set. Should mention this hospital logo. I love the font. It's so silly. Yeah, good set. Fun on the bun.